Okay, so welcome to the new series. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be building a real-time Python dashboard. We're going to be integrating a tool named Posher. Let me show you what is Posher all about. Posher.com. Okay, so go to the website. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay. Okay. Basically, they hold hosted APIs that are flexible, scalable, and as you can see in the description, they are very easy to integrate with through channels, for example. Um, Basically, you can use JavaScript, plain vanilla JS, integrated on many JavaScript frameworks with Python, with PHP, Java, C Sharp, C++. I mean, .NET, .ASP, the whole thing. Ruby on Rails. It comes pretty handy when you are like developing serverless applications or fast agile applications with or for startups that like don't have this big budget. Okay, Pusher is one of the easiest paths to go. It's so simple to integrate. Um, it's like Firebase, but the thing is that Firebase it's like a whole ecosystem. They got database, um, they got authentication systems, they got a lot of universe going on there. In this case, we won't be working with databases. Okay, it's just gonna be um, data that a user will create an input, then hit a submit button, and we will see the changes in real time being uh, updated. So we will be using Python, okay, um, the Python 3, 3.8, and we're going to be using virtual env for create our virtual environments, and we're going to be working with the Flask framework for the client side, and as well for the server side. Okay, let's get it on. Have, I'm using PyCharm as my IDE, but again, you can you can use whatever you want. Okay, um, let it begin. So, okay, create a new project. The beauty of using an IDE like PyCharm is that you can, sorry, um, you can create a Flask project with a boilerplate. Just put a name. Let's say dashboard live. Okay. Um, they set up the whole thing, the virtual environment, the interpreter, the Python 3.8. You can add a lot more of settings like the template language, whether Jinja, Mako, or none if you wish. Um, the default name where the default folder name where the templates will be stored. In this case, let's just leave it as default. I won't like show you how you are supposed to install like virtual env or Flask BC so easy. You just have to type pip space install space virtual env, and the same with Flask. You can find it on the Python documentation, and it will install it. Pip is the Python package manager, so it's a pretty straightforward process. Since I already had all of those dependencies and packages installed on my environment, I don't have to do it again. And most of you, like, you will have it. Okay, you will have them. So let's create it. We give it a name. This is our interpreter. It's okay. Go. Oh, sorry. Oh, let me. do it again. Uh, I think I because I have a similar project, but with database has the same name. Let me see if this one works. Live dashboard. Yeah, this one works. Okay, it will create a boilerplate project, Flask Python project, with this folder structure where we got our statics folder in which we can hold images, folders, or files, and files, sorry, CSS folder and files, and JavaScript folder and files, as well as, I don't know, some people like to store HTML files there. It is not a good practice. The thing is that on the templates folder, it's where you're going to store the HTML that you will be working on. We won't like have many styling here. It's just a basic HTML form with a few inputs. What we want to see is how easy it is to integrate Posher. They aren't sponsoring this video, by the way. Uh, it's how simple we can integrate Posher to our applications, and you can see like a real time interaction between user, client side, and server side. This will be useful if you are developing some sort of e-commerce or store, or maybe, I don't know, any type of service that you would like to have like this admin dashboard. Um, it will be like a pretty handy tool. So we got this. Let's set up our Pusher, mm, a Pusher, a Pusher account. I already had a Pusher account. Okay, linked in with my Google account. Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. Let me link it up with my GitHub account. I don't know. So you guys feel free to follow me on GitHub. Yeah. Okay. Brand new user for brand new video. Okay, I'm dying, by the way. It's okay. So this is the brand new dashboard. Okay, you will have something like this. You go here to create new app. You will create a new channel app. Let's name it, yes, dashboard live. The cluster location, you must select it, taking in consideration your location. So if you are in Asia, then go for an Asia Pacific, or from Sydney or Tokyo, or maybe Singapore or Mumbai. I don't know. It just depends on which of these clusters, or that are just servers, it's the closest to your location. In this case, for me, any US East located server works for me. Let's use Ohio. It's okay for me. Now, the front end, as I told you, we won't be working with any frameworks or any styling. So plain vanilla JS. And for the backend, we just simply say Python. Even though we're using Flask, they don't have like a Flask backend boilerplate for now. They do have it for Django, but again, just for the simplicity of the video, let's just say this. Okay, now we got the way in which we are going to use our pusher. This is the way we're going to use pusher on the client side, and this is how we're going to use it in our backend side. Okay, so as usual, let's begin building or working in our backend. Again, or the only file we got is app.py. That is the main file. It's the only Python file we're going to be using right now. We won't like code any hard test because It's so simple code, uh, but in the future we will. So we're importing Flask, and we're going to be using, I think, render template. It's in reality is here, and request. Okay. Now, um, from the documentation, you see we need to import pusher. So from pusher, port pusher. Capital P. Remember. Oh, it says an error because we don't have it. Okay. This is the beauty of PyCharm. You just install the package. Yeah, successfully installed. That's it. The hard-coded way is pip install feature with capital P. That's it. Pretty straightforward process. Okay, so let's set up, configure our pusher object. Let's say pusher object. Pusher object configuration. Nice. Um, we got like this boilerplate here where they say they name it pusher client, equals pusher, we instantiate the whole thing, and pass an array of um, an array with keys and app IDs and a secret token and our cluster and the, the encryption is the SSL if whether true or false. But since we're using we're importing it like from pusher, import pusher, we can do it like this. Okay, pusher equals to pusher, and then inside we will just copy um we'll copy this, copy paste. This is the best tool they invented for developers. So we got app ID, key, secret, cluster, SSL. Okay, this is all the information we need now. Now we got our pushed object configured and instantiated. That's pretty much it. Now all we're going to do is to create our app routes and what and a function inside each route that we handle. In this case, I don't know. Let's say we will create a mini application that will I don't know, the user will place a new order, can send a message that it's something that you want in real time. And let's say you can create a new user or a new customer in this case. You want to know all like these three things you want to have it on real time, not in, like in an email 5 or 10 minutes later. You want it like in real time, in seconds, milliseconds. So we're going to create routes for each one of these. So remember, it's orders, messages, and new customers. Let's create our index route first. Okay, so our index route, let's just slash, let's name it index. Our function index is going to return the render template our index.html. This render template method, all that it does is it 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 searches or fetches inside the templates folder and looks for this key for this key name. In this case, we don't have index.html. This is why it is like it says template file index.html not found. Just hit there, boom, create it. You can create it like hard by hand and stuff, but again, tools are meant to be used. Okay, so we got that road. The mistake here with is the blank space. And remember that when you're creating new functions, you need in Python you need to leave two two blank spaces. So, boom, we won't be using this hello world route. So app routes. We said orders, messages and customers, right? So let's create the order for the route will be like orders. Let's define orders. Oh, I think we need this is okay, but we need to create a dashboard route because the index is what the client see. Okay, is what is where they input the information. The dashboard is our admin side. Okay, so dashboard. We can name it admin or whatever. Mhm. Dashboard. Okay, do symbol as return render template, and we say dashboard.html. Again, oh, we got a dashboard. Okay, we got a typo here. Created. Yeah. Okay. Now let's create our orders. Our orders route of the routes. Order. Okay. So the function order. What's happening here? Okay. Now here is where we're going to handle our data request. Like, what are we going to do with the data we get? So what happens? What happens there is like data request, the method request, and form. Okay, it's a base request. Now we use our pusher object with a trigger method. Okay, like with it like this. With like replace curly brackets and inside curly brackets. Let's say we are going to be ordering like it's like a how do you like a drop shipping application, if you will. Like you have one single item in your store, and all you want is to order units of the same product. Okay, it's like the logic, so you can understand why I'm using some expressions like units, okay, or no quantity. Let's say you sell stuff like this, like it's like a handheld for a man. Okay, pretty simple stuff. But again, you are selling it by units. So when when a customer again and place an order, he's going to request for units. Okay, and inside we bind that data with units, right? I think we got it. Let's return a message. Return this will be a plain message like order placed successful. Order placed. That's all. Nice. What we are going to do is that we pretty much it's the same structure for messages and customers, but we're missing something here. We're missing our method. How are we going to handle the information? We're missing our method. Where we declare methods here. We said methods. Sorry, it's going to be a post method. Okay, because we are receiving information from the from a form. So let's create that route again for customers. Customer. We said orders messages. Messages. Sorry. Just to keep the order of things. Again, the same method. The same methods. Sorry. post, and then the name of our function. This is pretty much the same thing, okay, in here, of course, with some changes. Okay, the request form in here is going to be like the message sent, and we need a name, and data is going to be name, comma, and we need the message as well. Okay. So, yeah, I was checking the documentation. So basically, what we're doing is that we are importing the required models and objects. Okay, we are initializing our app, and we are initializing and configure our partial object here, and mm, so with this configuration done, we can now instantiate our partial object to trigger any events on any of the routes we define here. Okay, this is basically what we're doing. This data handling, it's like Python Flask 101. So simple. It's just a matter of copy paste. Once you get it done once, you just need to reuse your code. That is like the best practice. Any piece of code, any code base should be a word that you can use somewhere else and will work either way. Okay, so the message we're going to be returning here is like message sent, right? So for a customer, um, I got a wait, I got a start bootstrap template, okay, for the admin part, because uh, so we can have all these tables and things um, already designed for us. Let me see if I can find the file. This is like that. Okay, yeah, I got it. I got it here and here. Okay, so let's finish the routes, and then we will working on some of the most tedious work when you're creating an application, that it's the styling. And if you're using like a template, like um, trimming all the CSS and JS files can be like a very hard job, because it's a lot of lines of code that you must debug, that you must like delete what are you're not going to use, otherwise your site will be loaded with a bunch of trash information that you don't need. So yeah, let me finish copy this for the customer. Okay, customer, methods. Okay, but according to the style, we need a name, a position, because it's in the table. I won't modify the table, and an office location, our data, and our salary. Okay, so pretty much what we need to do here is to customer add, and name. Here we say name, position, the office location, and the age and the salary. Five items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Without this comma at the end, or it will be like so. The name, the position, the office, the age, and the salary. Nice. What I'm looking for is that besides, I mean, apart from showing you how easy it's to integrate Posture with our application, here it's the integration. Here it's all the magic. Okay, in this configuration object, and in the imports. That's pretty much it. Now, what I'm trying to do with this live code, hopefully we will have an error or warning when we run this code, so we can debug, and you guys can see like how it's like a simple debug process. Uh, Hopefully we will have an error, but this is very simple, so maybe we won't. But just in case, so customer create. Simple. So we're at one. Okay, I'm talking about the box. Let's set it to true. So if there's any error, we can see it on the Explorer. Next, actually, oh, I don't have. I'm using Microsoft Edge Chromium. It's like an amazing Explorer. It uses way less RAM than Chrome, than Firefox, or even Opera, Thor. Just amazing. But I don't think it has an integration or a plugin or with PyCharm already. I don't know, but that's okay. That's okay. So this is basically all of our backend for now. It's a very simple application. So let's set up these views. Okay, let's work on these views. This is a dot type HTML. It's pretty basic stuff. So, boom, we need our. I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't create like the whole thing. But okay, I can do this by hand. So let's call this application live dashboard. Okay, yeah, seems bad there. So everything. Okay, this is simple HTML. I don't think I have to explain this in the lane. But okay, I mean, really, I don't have to explain it. Okay, in our form tag, here is where we're going to uh, give the client or the user the possibility to make inputs. Okay, let me check. Explorer, Edge, it doesn't have. Okay, so this is where our clients will input all the information that we're going to receive in real time. So again, let them post. So action. So the actions. The first one is orders. From where does this come from? From here, from this route. Who handles this? Flask. I know because those are like the easy questions that you're going to be making. Like, how come? Where does this action property comes from? Well, it comes from this route definition we got here. Okay, see that they share the method, and this is handled by Flask. Okay, it is a framework that is HTML friendly. That's it. Let's create a tag here, an HTML tag. So place a new order. We got an input. So we said there will be numbers. So the type of the input will be number. Okay. The name Okay, and then it's units as we name it here. Okay, and placeholder place select units. I don't know. This has no styling, so it's like I'm picturing like a blank text box with a placeholder, then just below the button. Maybe two rows. I don't know. Let's just write one. So it's gonna be an input type submit. Okay. Same thing on our form. We're going to be doing the same thing for messages and for customer. So again, reusable code base, recyclable code base. You you need to code in a way that you can use it one I mean every time, over and over and over and over. Okay. So we got this here. This is for the messages, and this one is for the customer. So message or messages. Sorry, message. So in the message we need a name and and the message body itself. So this is a type text. Then it's gonna be name, right? And the placeholder, name of sender. Uh, you know what? It's not going to be an input. Let's use text area tag. The name of the stack is message, and we need a placeholder. Mm, no. Type message right. I think it's okay. I think it's best. MBR input. No, that's cool. And here we got customer. Oh, sorry. I mean, we can see how this is working, okay, by running the whole thing in the terminal. There should be like you can do it like flask run to see whether if we got any mistakes or something. So we got this address. Okay, let's just copy it and let me paste it. Okay, let me paste it. Go. Let me see what happens. Yeah, antivirus was giving us a hard time. That's okay. Mm, so it is actually not running. I don't know why. Mm, mm, okay, let me see. Okay, well, the Flask run is giving us some sort of problems. I don't know why. Maybe. Oh, Let's see. Okay, I knew I was going. The port 5000, I have it for a proxy server, so it won't open. I mean, the proxy server is already using that port. But again, okay, you see it. It is what it is. So let's fix that design in here. We need like this blank row. Okay, check it out. Okay, I didn't send a message thing. So let's see. Oh, here. The one here. I think this one is too much. I think it's too much. Let's open it again. So what is actually happening? I mean, it's not looking so tight, isn't it? Okay, I got this VR here. Yeah, is most certainly doesn't log in. Okay. We need to stop the server, run it. Yeah, I think we have it. I might actually. Okay, we have it. Nice. Uh, for a second, I thought I was working like in React or Vue, like it's whole reload. I was like, why isn't it updating the changes? But yeah, this is basically, as you can see, this is what a client will see. Three forms, and as soon as you type um, real time, you will see it in the admin side or the dashboard side, in which we are going to work right now. As I told you, we will be working with the start bootstrap template. It's this one. Let me show you. This is the, I mean, this is a really slick design. We are going to be using their tables, their stuff. I had this code already trained uh, and set it up because it's a lot of work. It took me like 4 hours. Um, they use a lot of HTML, like crazy HTML things that you don't need. No one needs. But it's okay. So I'm going to look for that code. I have it in the Scratch file here. I have it on a Scratch file. Okay, here it is. So I won't be explaining this. This is just like, as you can see, a table, cards, and this is like an example. Okay, all this code will be on my GitHub, so you guys can download it. Let's save it. Now, as you can see, we got some mistakes here. Like we are using this Flask way, okay, to to search for static files. We got the static folder here, and it's looking for the CSS slash CSS folder slash sb here admin.css file. So we need to create those files. This is like a trick we can do. Um, so remember, we need to create this. We need to create it. We need to create this file. Yeah, we need to create another one. We need to create another one. There's JS. What is the name? We need customer order and message as well. So yes, so we need files, customer.js, order.js, I think, message.js. Okay, that's all the ones we want. Again, I have this code uh, created as well. So the CSS is like, when you open it, we got it here, and we got the CSS, the JS files as well. Let me copy them. Okay, so all these changes, they come from the start bootstrap files on template. So this is not hard coded. This is just copy paste. Most of the code, the software development at this stage is just copy and paste things. Nice. So I think we got it. I think we got it. Let's rerun this application. So let's rerun the app. We have it here. Let me open a new one, but this time with the dashboard. So this is our dashboard. It's pre-filled with information. As I told you, you can see it's hard coded, but we will see the changes here. And let me small, and this is quite larger. Okay. So if we start creating orders, see that there is like 123 orders already. This is hard coded. If we set 36 orders, we submit, order placed, and we will see it updated if everything is properly set up. Let's see what is going on. Let's see what's going on. Maybe you can set a partial obligation. I don't know. Let me see if our posture is it's up. Let me see if we get it out. It is actually working. I don't know what happened there. Okay. I see. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Okay. Hmm. So let's inspect what's happening here. So it has no mistakes. And here, mm, okay, so it's in our app.py. We got a mistake on the back end. Mm, okay, let me start debugging this thing. Okay. Let me check this out again. Dash. This should be working. Okay, it's working. What I did is that I changed the in here into the app.py. I changed the cluster. We were using US3, and that cluster was like throwing an error of being full. It's just basic debugging. So now we got it. Let me let me show you the proper way. Making you tap, put this in the proper sizing. Hope you can see it. We got 124 orders. We are going to order 1,000 of this. We hit the submit button, and you can see it says, "Oh, it's ordering." It's a new order. Of course, it's going to be one new order for many units. Okay, so let's send a message. Let's say John Doe is saying the the non-failure hello world. You said submit, and as you can see here in the message feed, we updated the hello world. We are sending a message. Let's say Jane Doe. Oh, sorry, Jane Doe said hello world. Well, and someone that is not uh, Jane is gonna be saying like, I don't know, angry dude, right? It's gonna be saying, cut it off. Boom, cut it off. The thing is that it's to that I want to show you how you can send real-time information from the client side to the server side without having database storage. So this is like for a serverless application. This is a real-time updates. And the next time we will like working on how we can store that information on the database in parallel while we're sending the like the real-time thing. And by the end, let's create a new customer. Let's say we have the great the goat uh goat over goat age 41 salary not oh it's a number let's say let's say for a minute let's just for God's sakes let's just say 100. We hit the submit button and you can see we got Brian. He's the goat 41 years old. This is the date, the starting date. We don't have a starting date field, so it's like um it's pre-filled, and we got our salary. This is hard coded in the HTML. Okay, we got our salary. It's not the way it renders. The thing is that we are having real-time updates. Since we don't have a database for this, when we refresh the page, it all disappears. Well, we will be fixing that on the next session. We're going to be using maybe passwords or MySQL. It depends. We can use like MongoDB as well, but it's gonna be a relational database just for God's sakes. Maybe we will integrate like um, Vue.js for the front end, and we will create like this beautiful Dropify thing. Okay, so peace out.